The Sheikh explains here, and so do the others of scholars of Tafseer. They said Kabad here can mean have two meanings. The Sheikh said, so what Allah Azza wa Jal, the first thing which could be understood that Allah Azza wa Jal is swearing that He has created mankind in toil and difficulty, hardships. He says, يحتمل أن المراد بذلك ما يكابده ويقاسيه من الشدائد في الدنيا وفي البرزخ ويوم القيامة ويوم يقوم الأشهاد وأنه ينبغي. نعم. So here Allah Azza wa Jal is swearing that and attesting to that He's created man in a state of suffering, and he goes through hardships in this world. He goes through hardships in this world and in the grave and on the day of judgment. It's suffering after suffering. It's constant suffering that people witness in hardships in this life, whether it's related to their family, whether it's related to wealth, whether it's related to their wives, their children, whether it's related to people that they come into contact with. Many people are constantly in a state of struggle and hardship and toil and difficulty. Then the Shaykh says, Rahmatullah alayh, وأنه ينبغي له أن يسعى في عمل يريحه من هذه الشدائد ويوجب له الفرح والسرور الدائم وإن لم يفعل فإنه لا يزال يكابد العذاب الشديد الأبد الآباد. Yani, if that's the meaning that Allah Azza wa Jal, and this is one of the meanings, that Allah Azza wa Jal has created the human and he's in a constant state of difficulty, right? Then the Shaykh says, so it's upon the individual to strive hard to bring about relief from these hardships and to bring about eternal bliss and joy. If he does not do that, then the life that we're living in, if the individual, so Allah Azza wa Jal has created, and we have difficulties in our life. And it's upon us to do what we have been created for. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We have not been created, Allah Azza wa Jal informed us, I have not created the jinn or mankind except for them to worship me. So if we worship Allah Azza wa Jal, and we understand we have trials, we have tribulations, and we have difficulty, but if we worship Allah Azza wa Jal and do what we have been created for, our end abode would be eternal bliss and happiness and joy and comfort and relaxation. But if we do not do that, then the difficulty that we experience and the hardship would only continue. Where? In this life, in the grave, Yawm al-Qiyamah, and in the hereafter. So Allah Azza wa Jalla is swearing that I have created the man in difficulty and hardship and the likes. But if the individual worships Allah Azza wa Jalla and does what Allah Azza wa Jalla orders him to do and abstains from that which Allah Azza wa Jalla has ordered him to abstain from, then that will have an end. That will cease. And he will have that which is better. But if the individual doesn't strive to accomplish that major goal, and that's the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal and Jannah and joy, then that individual will never have an end to the difficulty that he experiences. So that's one meaning. Then the Shaykh says, Rahmatullah alayh, ويحتمل أن المعنى لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم وأقوم خلقة يقدر على التصرف والأعمال الشديدة. يعني another meaning of في Kabad is that Allah Azza wa Jal has created the individual in the best form. Allah Azza wa Jal has created the individual in the best form. Allah has given him what he can, what allows him to do difficult deeds. And what allows him to do difficult deeds. Allah Azza wa Jal has given us brain. Allah has given us hands, legs, eyes, hearing, as Allah is going to mention later on in the surah. So Allah Azza wa Jal has created us in the best manner to overcome conducting difficult deeds. So these are two meanings that the scholars mention related to the verse.